to do a job that you are paying them to do. Unapata mtu ameweka mileage ya 100 million or 50 million ya mafuta kwenda Marsabit, ni kama anatumia mafuta ya ndege, and you get paid for it. Surprisingly, we are actually the perpetrators of the same economic inequality we are talking about. Let's be honest. We are actually the perpetrators of that. Maneno ya kazi mtaani. You've mentioned about kazi mtaani na mayouth. Mimi natoka Mwehoko, Kiambu. I've seen youth wakitoa vitu kwa mtaro. The people who are employed by Kiambu government to do that, mayouth wakitoa wanakuanga wapi? Na kwa sababu wanalipwa. We are duplicating things. We have commissioners in parastatos 7-5 in a director, commissioner watano. Wanafanya nini? Why the hell do we have 60-year-olds still working as public service? Watoto wetu watapata kazi wapi? We need to be practical. We need to stop these conversations of kulienda, kulirudi, kunaenda. Can we start having solutions?
Okay.
Practical solutions.
Okay.
And I think that is where I stand. We are done with these conferences. Let us start having solutions. Kwanza Ndindi ende aseme watu wote wa retire over 60 instant. Aende aseme hivyo na ma commissioners nyumbani na stima, it's within you. 10 bob down and we are good.
Okay, Rosemary, thank you so much for that. Now, as we do that, you know, when you call for 60-year-olds to stop working, well, of course, that is the law, but at the same time, there's pensioners' poverty that has become a serious problem in this country. For every person here who is approaching 60 years, you're also thinking about it. How will life be? Now, the people asking questions, they didn't say whom they're asking. Now, panelists, you have such a big responsibility. And let's start with you, Ndindi, because you say you have a quick one.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. Let me start with you. And you are very passionate. Let me start with Kenya Power. Let me clarify that in this hall, there are people who participate in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, including today. With a CDS account, you buy any share anytime. I am a passive minority shareholder only. And I did that because I saw there was value probably that time. I have never been to Kenya Power headquarters since that investment. And I don't sit in any board, I don't sit in any committee, I don't influence anything they do. So I did that just the same way a Kenyan has shares in Equity Bank, another one in Safaricom. I am a passive shareholder. I think I have answered.
What proportion do you own?
Some, let me leave some research for you to do. But I did that purely as a Kenyan investor, nothing more, nothing else. But if you ask me about the same question on power, now objectively, I think I'll just tackle that, then let the others handle the rest. As a member of parliament and as a Kenyan, the issue of power is the issue of, number one, we start with demand supply. Kenya has very low supply of power, we start there. Secondly, we look at what are the other interventions we can do as Kenya to bring one, connection of power that is availability down, but also the real cost. In terms of connections, and we actually wrote this in one of our reports in my previous station, simple thing we need to do. Kenya Power can easily lower the cost of connection per household by seeding some of the things they do. Many times Kenya Power is known for procurement more than power because of the tenders of meters, poles, and the rest. And especially cables, meters, and poles. In Kenya, we give contracts for people to print our money, the most sensitive thing. Let me compare Kenya Power and Safaricom. Whatever Safaricom does, because let's say they do also fiber the same way Kenya Power does, they let people or their contractors purchase those things and then they lower the cost down. Let me just summarize what I'm trying to say. Kenya Power can easily liberalize power connection by just having distributors where you can buy poles, you can buy your own meter, you can buy your own cable. They only come to supervise, as many other companies do. That can cut the cost of power connection by 50%. Because they buy, let's say, poles from Makutano, the poles are brought in Nairobi, the pole that is 7,000 becomes 14,000, so the end user pays much more. Why do you need to do that? If you're a power company, cede whatever is not power to those people who can do it better. In terms of generation, we just need to accelerate power generation in Kenya, and especially the cheaper one. If you look at KenGen, which has 65% of the market in terms of production, they are the ones who produce the least, with the least cost, I mean. They are the ones who sell power at the least cost to Kenya Power. But you get some other patronage-based IPPs who are charging power more than 5 times what KenGen charges. I think we need to give more focus to KenGen, make it raise more money because they have huge assets of 500 billion shillings. They expand power generation, and then they decimate the private power producers, and the cost will come down.
Dr. Abdi, there are several questions about education, from adult education to capitation. Yeah.
Thank you.
And CBE that is creating inequality.
Thank you for that. Well, first of all, I just want to start by saying that our education system is okay. In the sense that, look at, we do assessments, common assessments regionally and internationally. For example, at grade 6, we do the Southern and Eastern African Consortium for Monitoring Education Quality. We share that with 15 sub-Saharan African countries. Out of the 15 countries, we, in numeracy and in reading, we are number 2. We come after Mauritius. Mauritius is a country of around 1.3 million population, the whole population. That's equivalent to maybe a grade 1 class of Kenya. Our population in our grade 1.
Why is fertilizer distributed by chiefs and not agricultural extension officers, who ought to be the ones who are procuring it? Finally, on solutions as raised by Rosemary, in addition to all those, until we change the quality of the voter and therefore the quality of leaders, this is a governance question. The politicians who have led us down this path should not be in power now and forever, and especially in 2027. People must recommit to giving Kenyans their dignity. But we must also stop as Kenyans from seeing MPs as ATMs. If you make them ATMs, surely they must look for money to make us happy. An MP legislates, represents, allocates budgets and oversight. akituache kuwaita kwa harambee na kuomba pesa ya kwenda hospitali. We have a bad culture of leadership, and I hope that as we continue to educate people, we will change the quality of the voter and the quality of our leaders.
All right, Anthony?
Yeah, sure. Maybe I can take it from where I have stopped about the quality of voters. I think Kenyans we are good voters. That's a fact. We vote for people, but promising us good things, but they don't, in most cases, live up to that. So I think as far as Kenyan voter is concerned, I think we are quite good. And what the reason that people keep on calling Waheshimiwas to this hand is because people don't have money. If the government is able to fix our healthcare system, our education system, I don't need to call Nyoro to fund whatever this patient or someone's education because the government is already taking care of that. So if we are able to fix that, we are going to solve out of challenges that we are currently facing, whether it's democracy, corruption, and so on and so forth, because people would have those, they wouldn't have any reason to ask for some of these favors. At last, it's not about individuals, it's about the system that we need to change. The system needs to change. We are not going to change individuals, but if we are able to change the system, it doesn't matter who is the president of Kenya. If there's a system in place that's followed, we are going to take this country forward. And yes, we have to keep on singing the chorus. Because if we stop singing the chorus that we need to fund our healthcare, we need to fund education, we need to tax the richest guys in this country more than the poor, nothing is going to happen. So until the system is fixed, I think the chorus should continue.
Okay, all right. I'll shortly be taking some more reactions from the floor, but I want to hear from members of parliament who are here, Mheshimiwa Aundo and Mheshimiwa Obara. Let me start with you, because you've been quiet for some time. There are many issues that have been raised. You can give him the microphone. Many issues that have been raised. I don't know if there are a few that you want to talk to.
Okay. Thank you. Just for record purposes, my name is Dr. Jambo Undo, MP Funyula. I tried in 2013, I was not successful. 2017, I was successful. 2022, I was successful. Probably something I did for people of Funyula, and they decided to give me a second chance. I came late because I was doing some Article 95 representation on the floor of the House. But nevertheless, I've gone through the summary, executive summary, and I must commend Oxfam for being bold enough to say as it is and prescribe what ought to be done. Normally when you are a patient, the doctor would prescribe. Sometimes probably your caregivers might get you the drugs, and whether you take the drugs religiously, according to the prescription, is the business between you and your God. Let me say one or two things. Yes, the members of parliament and the new constitution have been donated a lot of powers and a lot of authority under the constitution and the law. Truth be told, and my colleague Dr. Ivo Bara will attest to that, Mheshimiwa Nyoro will attest to that, because we have an old school mentality, the Kanu school mentality of government and opposition. The so-called those who are in government sees nothing good for those who are in the other side of the aisle. So it seems that all the time we dig in on opposition, we fail to represent the people of Kenya as required under Article 95. As we go into the 2027 elections, and I want to thank the lady from Kiambu who has been very bold and passionate about it. It is you, the non-state actors, it is you, the Kenyans, who will have to undertake an assessment of the performance of all those people who have elected in leadership currently, and decide whether they are worthy your energy, your effort, and your liking to return them to power. I keep on telling Kenyans, we have complained bitterly for the last 3 or so years. And there is a high possibility, we never know, we might repeat the same mistake in 2027 and return to the cycle of complaining. It's time for Kenyans now. You have to either stop complaining or live with the mistakes you make at every election cycle. We are getting tired as elected leaders for us to complain and for you Kenyans to complain. Yet when you wake up on the election day, on the voting day, rationality is put in the back burner. You carry your emotions with you. Let's talk to the Kenyans wherever they are. Let's talk to the Kenyans wherever they are, so that now we start now looking at our future, our current, our future, and our far future. Because just looking for today, looking for what is good for now, and forgetting about what will happen to the future generation is what will destroy this country. The truth of the matter, no other massaging will do. The country is not doing well. That's the fact of the matter. The economy is not doing well. Governance issues are not okay. Our social fabric is gone. Any other doctored, massaged communication, data, high octane PR is not going to solve the problem. That's the truth of the matter. Thank you.